when we say the hour of Pisces is over and the hour of Aquarius is beginning, we have to think about a process of 200 or 300 years, which is not like one day that it changes. It's like a whole process that takes like 300 years from one age to go to the other. It's like the minute of an hour, of a big hour.
Just the transition itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's the transition. So right now we are in the process of transition between Pisces age and the new age of Aquarius. So what the ancients did was to kind of try to this was a psychological work. When people think about astrology, one of the mistakes that I think we do is that we think that the stars are conditioning us every day and what we are. Actually, it's not directly like this. In a quantum level, of course, we are all connected. So, of course, it determines. But actually, let's relate it with something which is more relatable to our daily life. Let's say that when you go to work, you will always go through a bakery to go there. So it's very early in the morning, and you feel the smell of the the bread, like, oh, it's so good. And you go through there and you will smell that and you will say, okay, the bakery is ready, so I can go there, grab something, some pastry, and keep going to work. So you create that idea. But one day, the bakery closes. It's not there anymore. But you do the same path to work. Every time that you go through that corner, your brain will create the smell. Okay? So you will create that smell of that and you will remember the bakery. So even if the bakery is not there, within is there. So because by repetition, you created within yourself a cellular memory of what is the action that you should take every time that you cross that corner, which is to eat bread or to eat this. So imagine that happening every year for millions, and I would say billions of years of cells repeating the same thing every time that was summer, every time that was spring, every time that. So suddenly your cells are not thinking anymore about, oh, I should buy a bread. It's already encoded in you that every time that you go through that corner in time, you will smell bread. Okay? So imagine now that the bakery is actually Aquarius. Okay? And you are Earth. So you are going to work and you are moving through time and suddenly you're crossing the corner and suddenly you start to smell the the bread. So the bakery is not anymore there, but somehow a few millions of years ago it was a bakery. Okay, so now all your cells going in front of that bakery starts to feel, oh, I have to buy some croissant. That's how actually stars are affecting us. That's how we actually are affected by astrology because of our position and the actions that we repeated constantly, that for millions of years it became something that you repeat constantly. So if we do that in a year, if in one year you can create, I think you need actually 40 days of repetition to create a habit. Okay, so if you repeat 40 days something, it becomes a habit in your life. So imagine repeating that for millions of years. Okay, so it's basically you. So that's how, if I say I'm a Leo, it's like, yeah, you are a Leo because you have been repeating this cycle to understand what being under the Leo constellation means. So now you can be that. So that's the context to understand why an age can affect civilizations, can affect our memory, cellular memory, can affect our way of thinking, our way of doing, our way of discovering, to make new questions, to start to looking for something. We are looking for the croissant, basically.
I love poetically how the shape of a croissant matches that of a moon as well. It's perfect metaphor. It's there's quite a few things in there to unpack. I mean, even as you said, our North Star, as you said, starts to change. I mean, in the Vedic culture, when we're looking at astrology, they call it Jyotish, and I find that really fascinating because Jyot literally means light, and Ish means to study, and it's literally the study of light. And I find this really interesting because it untethers it from balls of matter and density into like energetic and wave-like structures. And as you were saying, our North Star changes. I mean, if there's an orientation that the pole that the Earth is sort of pointing towards, for like towards something, I'm sure that energetically means something to what the Earth is going through at that particular moment in time. And watching that shift must be
Oh
quite
yeah.
profound.
Yeah. And of course, the Vedic tradition follows the actual position of the stars, while the Western, let's say, tradition follows our perception of the stars. So both of them are combined in this way. One speaks about how I perceive it, and the other one explains how it's moving, actually. So it's a mechanism of mind and heart, actually, let's say. So you can perceive it in that way. Because sometimes people say like which one should I follow? It's the Vedic or the tropical? And it's like, well, it's this, it's like a clock. So that you have gears for it to function. So it's not one or the other. Um, so related to this axis, like pointing one specific star, let's say to exemplify this, our body is on its axis. We have this axis here. So I'm standing there observing this in front of me. But if I start to spin like this, something will change in my mind, in my perception, because now I'm not seeing what is here. And if I change there, I'm not seeing what is there. And then so my point of view of how I focus my reality depends on what is my North Star. So this is my axis. The axis of my planet, of my own being, is observing one specific North Star. So as I shift and I start to spin around, imagine that my head is doing this. So, so if I'm doing that, so every corner of the room will be a North Star for me. And every time that I position myself there, there's something that I don't see. There's something that I can see. There's something that is blurry around. So every age, I will have something more clear and something that is hidden. Something that is blurry, something that I have that might help me uh, work and do things, and the other one that I need. So the shift of the position of my perception according to the North Star will change how I relate with everything, with all the other stars or all the other psychological perceptions. So that's why it's important to know what is your north, what is your northern star. For example, in astrology, you say, what is your north? For example, for me, my north constellation is Aries. So, okay, what is for me Aries? So it's the thing that I have to pay attention to. What is the sentence of Aries? Is the beginner, the initiatic, is the I am itself. So my North Star is you have to initiate. You have to you have to think like a child. You have to begin. You have to learn the I am. So when you have that in mind, when you know what your North is, then you can reorganize everything around you and not trying to be what you are not, but use the whole picture, the whole thing, knowing that, of course, the opposite side of Aries will be the one that kind of teaches me what is hidden in me, what is something that it's already in me, in my backpack, let's say. So for Aries is Libra. So in the other side, I have Libra telling me this is what you have come here to do. You have this in your background, in your background, but you're not facing it. So you don't know how to deal with it unless you focus on Aries. So knowing the North Star, it helps to understand where are we going. how to use the whole picture.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well, then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.